Tonight, we'll get to the bottom of some of these issues as regarding the plans of the two major political parties in the race, the PDP and the APC. I have joining me an aspirant in the race for the PDP ticket, Mr. Kenneth Imaswagwan, and a former member of the House of Representatives, Honorable Samson Osage. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming tonight. Let me begin with you, Mr. Imaswagwan. There's been these allegations back and forth about the incident at the Oba's Palace. The APC has their own side of the story, that in fact they said they know that the PDP government in Edo State has plans against their members. Your reaction on what happened?
What happened yesterday is disturbing, troubling, and very, very, very unacceptable. In the strongest term, I condemn the external aggression carried out by APCs, supervised and inspired by former Governor Shomole against the people of Edo State. In history shown, there are three empires known to history: the British Empire, the Great Roman Empire, and the Great Benin Kingdom, or the Great Benin Empire. We've never seen any act of external aggression. We only saw a similar thing of what happened yesterday during the 1987 British expedition against the Great Benin Kingdom. What the APC did yesterday in Edo State before the gate of the highly revered Oba is unacceptable. This is what Edo have degenerated to under the APC desperate move to seize power by Vietnamese, that is, by act of violence. And I call very quickly on Mr. President, who is a peaceful president, a former military general, now the president, who is an outgoing president, who has started well in his second term, that he should not allow the ambition of a paramount godfather in Oshomole to cause violence and bloodshed. The governor was apt yesterday. He said, look, don't retaliate. And that is my position. Edo people must not retaliate, but Mr. President, sir, you are the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Oshomole is not the Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces. We are not in Banana Republic. We are Edo people, one of the finest species created by God under the face of the earth. We are courageous and fearless people who will defend the mandate the Edo people will give to Obaseki, because Obaseki will win in a landslide election.
All right, Mr. Imaswagwan, let me allow Honorable Osage to coming into the conversation. Honorable Osage, the accusing finger is against towards your party. How would you react to what Mr. Imaswagwan said?
Well, Shehu, thank you very much. I sympathize with the frustrations of the APC, of the PDP and its candidate in this forthcoming election for having been roundly rejected by the people of Edo State. No doubt the shootings that took place at the precincts of the gates of the Oba of Benin yesterday is condemnable. And from all indications, those gunshots were done by Obaseki boys, Stones, and a number of them. We know them, and there are evidence to show to that effect. What you saw, the gate of the Oba Palace is not like the government house gate that is shut against the public. And it's election times. APC youths were on a peaceful move around the area, you know, soliciting for votes, because that is Ward 1 in Oredo. And they didn't even know that the PDP entourage was coming in. It was a spontaneous reaction you saw, rejecting the Governor Obaseki administration and the PDP government in Edo State. It was spontaneous. And then the response from the Obaseki private army, the Puwolf, led by Mutari and Stone and the rest of them, was to begin the shooting. And that is why APC men, young men and women, numbering over 10, are lying critically ill in the hospital now. So when you talk about Oshomole, Oshomole was not at the palace. I don't know how Oshomole came into this mix. He's not a candidate in the next election. And in any case, I believe that Governor Obaseki has demonstrated a clear case of instability, of a character that you cannot even rely on to pilot the affairs of our state, because it has always been one criminal act or the other who actually masterminded the bombing of the houses of opponents in this state. It was this government. It was this government that have been attacking people's houses here and there. And so the APC is not a violent party. This government have resorted to violence in order to advance the desperate ambition and aspiration of the governor, who has lost touch with the mass of the people. And I think that it's unfortunate that the PDP, who have just taken delivery of a brand new child they have never seen before for a long time, are paranoid about the fact that they now have a governor. And then the former governor, who meant well, developed Edo State, contributed maximally to the development of the state, is now their butt that they can kick around. It's very unfortunate. And I think their cries, their accusation is born out of frustration. And I sympathize with them.
All right. So, Mr. Maswagbo, you heard what Honorable Samson Osage has said there. So, aside the violence issue, is what the parties or your party, for example, has to bring to the table. The question is that what are you telling your opponents, I mean, the people of the state, the voters in the state, and what assurance do you have that you might carry it because you look so confident about winning?
Yeah, Obaseki is going to win. He's going to win 80-20. PDP will win. We are going to win because Governor Obaseki has performed. In education, in infrastructure, he's done over 350 roads. All the streets have been tarred. The offense of Obaseki to very few, the godfathers, who believe that they are living in dreams of the wonderland. They believe that because Obaseki said, no, I will not allow touts to be in charge of the treasury of the state. I want to have a single account treasury where I can monitor what is going on. That is Obaseki's fault. And today, we've seen that these looters, these thugs, these guys who never went to school, they are bitter. But the majority of Edo people wants Obaseki back. He's going to win. APC game plan is violence. They've started it. When the Oba of Lagos, the revered, visited Oshomole in his house or during the graduation, he was stoned. 8 governors visited Edo yesterday. So our revered Oba, they visited the Oba. The governors were stoned, organized by Oshomole and his men. Edo people, we made up our mind. We are rejecting APC. No way for them. They are now doing a primitive kind of politics, violence, relying on Abuja to come and rig election. We are waiting. We are Edo people.
So, Honorable Osage,
Ishans where I'm from, the senatorial where I'm from will vote massively for Obaseki. Because APC have oppressed the Ishans. APC should forget about Ishan senatorial. Of course, no Ishan man under the face of the world will vote for APC. In Edo South, the majority tribe, Oshomole wants to, he knelt down today, begging, fooling himself. You can't fool the people. Kneeling down to beg the Benin, please, I made a mistake about a performing of Obaseki. So my friend and brother Isaiah, it's not going to happen.
All right. So let me allow Honorable Osage to respond to what you said. You heard what Mr. Maswagbo said about his party winning. Is that what the picture looks like over there in Edo State?
You know, Sheun, it's very easy to dream. Of course, dreams don't normally become reality until you wake up and find that you were actually dreaming. Let me tell you, the incoming APC government by Pastor Osage Yamu will provide massively for security. Will provide for infrastructure. That is what we don't have right now. I don't know how they measure the performance. Today, there's no security in Edo State, and yet security votes have been increased. The infrastructures they talk about, they are being washed away by the few roads they manage to tap through borrowed money from C4 and even other sources. Now, in education, they said they have done massively well. As we speak, no public school student or pupil is learning online, and yet billions of naira has been spent on consultants to train teachers and to procure technologies. We don't know what impact they are making. So this government has failed the people. It has continued to deceive us And we know that our people already understand clearly that this is not a government to be trusted. And above all, I want to assure you that the Oshomole they are crying all over the place about, it's not a candidate in this election. And since it's not a candidate in this election, they miss the point. What are they going to do in the next 4 years? They have not told you. And we are telling you, APC, that we have a blueprint on how to develop our infrastructure, our manpower needs, our education, our agriculture, and so on and so forth. Security, so that our people can go to their farms. Today, our bush are peopled by criminals. And yet this governor increased his security vote to a whopping over 600 million. And then insecurity pervades all over the place. So the APC government coming in has told Edo people that it will tackle headlong these teething problems that Edo people have. And I can assure you that this election is won and lost. It is won by the APC and its candidate, Pastor Osageze Yamu, and it's already been lost by the PDP and Governor Obaseki.
So let's have our closing moments on the program. And for the voters in Edo State, Governor Obaseki was a candidate of the APC about 4 years ago. Pastor Izeyamu was a candidate of the PDP 4 years ago. Mr. Imaswagbon, how do you talk to your voters when it looks so much that it was just a simple switch of roles now, and in terms of party manifesto and party ideology?
We are winning. Edo people want Obaseki, Stephanie. Obaseki has performed. He's touched the lives of the people. He wants the right thing to be done. The problem in our country is that people that are good men, the very few devils, don't want good. But Edo people, for the people, the kind of people God has made us, we will make sure we defend our victory, or Obaseki's victory. INEC, do the right thing, because we will not accept you to rig or write anything. If you rig Edo election, we will confront you. If you are in the military, you own by the oath of your office, allow for a free and fair elections. Because, look, APC knows they are not going to win. The old PDP, with more than 2/3 APC people that have joined our party, and even the people, the ordinary people, they are yearning, men, women, students, praying on their knees for Obaseki to come and finish up the good work he's doing. And people like Oshomole going on his knees, thinking that the Benin's are fools. The Benin's are not fools. He went on his knees today begging the Benin's that he made a mistake. Obaseki is not a mistake. It's a huge blessing.
All right. Let's get Honorable Osage to respond to that. Honorable Osage, how would you respond to that? Same question that I asked you earlier as your final thoughts.
Well, I thought this program was to speak to the issues. I will not come on national television to threaten national institutions like the army and all of them. But I expect them to talk to Edo people what they want to do in the next 4 years. Because we have not seen clearly the impact that have been made in the last 4 years. And that was why, as a party, we rejected Obaseki. The PDP has taken our reject, and I think they are celebrating our reject. So for us, we believe that we will win this election, clean and clear. The APC and its candidate is on ground. We do not have to drum up baseless figures or statistics. You know, their candidate is very good at using, what is it now, slides and computers to calculate his election figures. But that is far from that. I want to assure you that the APC government that is coming on board with Pastor Osageze Yamu has a program of action in a simple agenda to address all the sectors of our economy and bring life better for Edo people.
We must leave it at that, gentlemen. Honorable Samson Osage, a former member of the House of Reps and a chieftain of the APC, and Mr. Kenneth Imaswagbon, a chieftain of the PDP and aspirant of the PDP in the governorship election. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming on tonight. But that's how we leave it tonight, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Sean Kimale. Bye-bye.